welcome to the Unpeeled podcast. I'm Ayson.
And I'm Gabe.
Hello, Gabe. And this is our first episode. All right.
I know. Pretty hype, bro, honestly.
Pretty hype, honestly. We came up with this like one night when we were on that
Monday.
call.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday. You asked me about homework, and then eventually we just started. We just talked a lot, and we are like, dude, we should just make a podcast.
Yeah, I know, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that we talk about, is definitely, really interesting and could be
Yeah,
on a podcast.
yeah. I mean, we'll see how people receive it. Maybe they'll think it's like super boring.
No, I think they'll say, oh, these people are, super woke, bro. Like, honestly.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, how's it been, being quarantined? I heard you got, kind of exposed to, the coronavirus.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, so I'm on a polo team, right? I play water polo for my high school. You didn't
I do
know?
too.
Yeah, yeah, he does too. And we had a game on Monday, and we usually do testing every week on Tuesday, and there were people at the game on Monday that tested positive on Tuesday. I wasn't one of them, but I guess I've been exposed, and now I have to like not play any sports for what,
Was it,
10
like,
days?
10
So
days? Yeah, I
until
think it was, like,
yeah,
10
yeah,
days.
until next Wednesday. So I mean, it's been pretty fine. I haven't really changed that much. It's just
Do you,
I haven't gone to
not go
practice.
anywhere still, or what?
I
Just besides
actually
practice?
I went somewhere, but I kind of just drived.
You
I
broke
drove
the
there.
rules, man. You
I
broke the
I
rules.
okay. I There was like no one else there, so
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
I went to Monster Snow, got some a mochi bowl with like
Monster
the
Snow? I've
shaved
never
ice.
even heard of that.
Yeah, it's pretty far out actually. It's like I think it's like a half-hour drive. You get off, you're at a hot springs, then you drive for like 5 miles, and then it's right there. It's pretty good though. I'd say it was pretty worth it.
Yo, if I'm be real, I'm probably gonna look like hella dumb, but what even is like a mochi bowl? If I'm be real,
Mochi. Okay,
I just be eating food, man.
yeah, it's like I don't know which like Asian country it's from, but mochi's like it's like ice cream enveloped in like it has like skin almost. It's good though. I don't know how to
I
explain
feel
it
like
to you.
there's some really cool things you could definitely do with ice cream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, have you ever been to that place Rita's?
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's honestly like okay, the mochi wasn't similar, but like the consistency of like the ice stuff that was like with it, it was pretty similar to Rita's. And Rita's is
Yeah,
really good.
cause I think okay, even Rita's like. So I'd say with food, I'm pretty simple. I'm a pretty chill guy. Like usually I like
Hmm.
like chocolate ice cream. Like that's anything chocolate's kind of my go-to.
Yeah,
But like Rita's, I don't think they even have much like chocolate flavors, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I still enjoy it, but
I don't know. Whenever I go to Rita's, I usually just get mango. I feel like mango's like a
I think
good
I got
go-to for that
I
kind
think
of.
the last time I got mint chocolate chip and then I think they had something chocolate and I think it was really good.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, what I don't understand is the people that hate mint chocolate chip or like any mint flavored like treat because like I don't it doesn't taste like toothpaste. That's like everyone's main argument. But it doesn't
I
taste
don't
like
know.
toothpaste.
Okay, I could kind of see where they're coming from, but I still enjoy things that are mint, like mint gum. Like mint gum is
Yeah.
definitely my favorite flavored gum. You know what I mean? Like I don't always like fruity gums. Like I just want something chill. And I also feel like mint gum, like the flavor stays longer than if you were to buy strawberry gum.
Okay. I mean, I don't really like fruity gum's not my favorite, but I actually well, I do like mint gum, but my favorite gum is cinnamon gum.
Bro, I am not a fan of cinnamon. Like most things cinnamon, I do not care for.
Really. I mean, dude, I remember I liked cinnamon so much when I was little. I like I wanted to try what cinnamon was like by itself, and I was utterly disappointed. It was so bad. Like it wasn't like I didn't have like a whole spoonful, like I didn't do like the cinnamon challenge, but I had like a little pinch, and I was just
Hmm.
like I was cringing.
Now I'm probably a lot of people can't relate with this, but I genuinely am not a fan of churros. Like churros are not my thing. Like every now and then I could eat a churro, but like if I were to go to Disneyland, bro, I'll pass on the churro, man.
I humbly disagree with you. Churros are always good.
No, I feel like it's too much. Like it is too much for me, man. Like I would always eat healthy, but the churro is too much for me, man. Like I feel like I just have like straight up sugar like in my mouth and it doesn't taste good.
But that's the whole point of a churro. It's just all
I,
sugar.
I don't know, man. I don't like it like at all. I don't know,
Well,
it's weird.
again, I humbly disagree with you.
So anything else quarantining? You've
Not
been
really.
breaking the rules any other time?
I I took pictures of my brother wearing my sister's rings
Oh
for like
yeah, I saw
Instagram.
that. I was kind of messed up. She kind of hit you with the low tag, man.
She still tagged me though. I mean, I don't really
She
post
still
anything.
tagged you. She still tagged you, but she still got you with the low tag.
Well, I wasn't the one in the pictures, so.
You gonna shout out her business on here or what?
Oh yeah, shout out to Carly's Creations
Shout out
underscore IG
shout
on
out your business
Instagram.
too. Shout out my business.
My business, yeah, hit up at Ayson takes photos on Instagram if you wanna.
And hit up Rubalcava's photos.
Yeah, yeah. We do video stuff too. Don't get fooled by the names.
We do it all. We do it all.
We do it all. Yeah. And now we do podcasts apparently. So
Yeah, I know. We're now officially podcasters, bro. We
officially podcasting, not to be
literally
confused with the official podcast.
true.
Yeah.
So what was it? Dude, I feel like I'm so busy now. It's kind of ridiculous. Like for the
Yeah.
longest time, like my parents were like really strict for a long time about like coronavirus
Hmm.
and like I didn't go anywhere for forever, right? And then it got to a point where we were like, bro, this is just not like a life. Like we're literally just like practically just surviving day by day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think like with everyone, like I think everyone needs like somewhat of like a human like interaction. Like I think like Zoom and even like I don't know, I think like PlayStation is like a good way for like people to connect or even like video games or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But I still think like it's not always like enough. You still need to like see your friends and see other people like in person.
Yeah, of course. And I think I realized that like a couple of years back because I was like, dang, hanging out with people is like so much fun. I should just like, because for the longest time when I was little, I was always afraid to like make plans for some reason. I think I was just
Mhm.
like embarrassed to like ask my parents or something. For I have no idea why really, but eventually I just broke through that and that I've just like always loved like hanging out with people, and now it kind
No,
of
I think I hung out with more
interrupted.
people when I was younger. I used to go to my friend's house who lived like across the street. Like looking back, it feels like I was there like almost every other day.
Hmm.
I mean, it was probably something close to there. But I feel like as I got older, like it's weird. Like my parents got like a little bit like more and more strict about like me like pulling up to like a friend's house. Like now, like I feel like I gotta like ask within like days advance. Like, hey, I mean, I understand with coronavirus right now too,
Hmm.
but like I gotta ask like 2 days before. Like, hey, can I go to a friend's house?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's weird because like I said like a couple months ago, I was literally doing nothing. Like I was just like on my couch, waking up, doing school, and then now got a job, and then sports are back. Like,
Well, that for a little bit. Well, I guess we still have swim. We still have swim.
yeah, we still have swim, which I'm sorry if our coach ever hears this, but I think for me, like personally, I kind of like swim
Really?
better than polo. I mean, I definitely enjoy polo, like, and I wanna continue playing polo,
Hmm.
right? But I think like swim is a lot more of a individual sport, right?
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more about like technique and like not so much like natural skill. And
Yeah, and like
you don't really need to
self-improvement, right?
think. You don't really need to think about, swim or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to explain because like I don't know. I'm gonna just be like real. Like I'm pretty bad at polo, right? Like I'm
Right,
pretty
right.
bad. Like I enjoy the sport. Like I said, I always want to improve. I always want to make myself like be better. And I do try, but but I think like with like with swimming, and and it's weird. Like unless you're in polo, you don't know this, but like swimming in polo and swimming in like swim is like two totally different ways of swimming. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like you don't really know as much since you're a goalie, but
I mean, I still swim sometimes when they're like they pass too far and I'm there to snatch it.
you just
But
go out of the cage for like
yeah, I
two
know.
seconds.
And then sometimes they just score on me because I miscalculate how fast I am. Yeah.
Bro, didn't you Loki like block Shane or something the other day? Like in his
Yeah.
mouth? Oh, shout out Shane.
Yeah, shout out Shane. Yeah, no, I think I blocked it with my face. Actually, I've blocked Shane's shots with my face so many times.
Dude, that's why I couldn't be a goalie, bro. I think I'd be too
Really.
scared to get like smacked in the face, bro.
Yeah, no, it was worse when I had braces too because it would smack my lip and then the
Oh,
braces would like get stuck in my lip and I'd start bleeding.
I think that happened like my freshman year one time. Was like
Yeah.
I just got my braces tightened or something, or they were sore still, and then someone hit me in the mouth, and oh my God, it hurt so bad.
I mean, it didn't hurt. It was just annoying because it was bleeding. I was like, "Oh, yeah."
You know.
Anyways, want to get into some of the topics we wanted to talk about today?
Sure.
All right, what are you starting with, Gabe? What are you starting with?
We could talk about that Burger King thing
Oh
from the other
yeah,
day.
the tweet from Burger King.
Yeah, they're
What did they
like
say?
they said women belong in the kitchen,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And then they
On
said like if they want to, which I don't know, I thought it was pretty funny, if I'm
that
be
it
real.
is pretty funny. They put up an apology a couple days ago.
Did they actually apologize?
Yeah, yeah. It says, "We hear you. We got our initial tweet wrong and we're sorry. Our aim was to draw attention to the fact that only 20% of professional chefs in the UK kitchens are women and to help change that by awarding culinary scholarships. We will do better next time." And they said that they decided to delete the original tweet. So, rest in
Nah,
peace that.
it was just, misunderstanding, man.
Yeah. But I mean, it
They,
was a pretty funny
they meant
misunderstanding
that
though.
they want women in their kitchen. That's what they meant.
Exactly.
I think it was funny. I don't know. No
Uh,
hate towards women, no hate towards women, but I
yeah,
thought it was
no hate
funny.
towards women.
I thought it was
They do
funny that
make
it
pretty
was on
good
the
cooks
women's.
sometimes though.
They
My
do,
mom,
they
shout
do.
out my mom.
My mom does not cook. Shout out my mom. Shout out my dad, bro. He be making the food.
Yeah, my dad makes some pretty good food too. My mom makes good Asian food. My dad makes good Mexican food.
My mom cooks like every now and then, but my dad went to culinary school, so he obviously
Mm. Oh yeah, yeah,
he knows a lot more than my mom does.
for
It's
sure.
good for my mom because she does not like cooking at all. Like
Shout
every
out
now
Ruba
and then.
Tacos.
Shout out Ruba Tacos, bro. We're coming
Dude,
out with merch.
that stuff
We're
slapped in the county fair in elementary school
Oh yeah,
every
he was
time.
there, dude. I pulled up and then I had Ethan come up. My boy, shout out Ethan.
You know, we're shouting
Um,
at everyone up in here.
we are shouting at everyone.
Yeah,
If we mention you, you're getting a shout out, bro.
yeah.
Um, I had Ethan come over and my dad got kind of mad. He's like, "Bro, why'd you have Ethan go over? You're about to go camping with Boy Scouts." And I was like, "Yo, I didn't even get to enjoy the county fair.
Oh
I had to
dang,
like, I had to like dip,
dude.
but it was I.
I'd always get the goldfish from those, and they wouldn't last like more than 2 weeks.
I had three fish, like all like they're like around the same time. I think they all died.
Yeah.
I remember like one time my dad was like, "Bro, like this our second fish." I think I named them all like I think the first one was like Mr. Bobo. I think that was his name was. And then I think the second one was like Mr. Bobo 2. Like I straight up think his name was the other name but just 2.
Was the other one Mr. Bobo 3?
No, I don't know. I don't remember what his name was.
Was it Miss Bobo?
But no, we don't I don't think we had any women fish or we
Oh.
just didn't look at his gender if I'm being real.
Can you even tell fish genders like just from looking at them?
Probably have to get like a microscope.
Yeah, because
Be
I know
like
with like,
he has a penis, but it's really small, man.
yeah, do fish have like penises though? Is that a it's just like really small?
Bro,
I guess it makes sense.
we gotta check back in Finding Nemo, bro, and that's how we gotta find out our answer.
I, okay, yeah. Shout out
My boy.
Finding Nemo, Rule 34.
What were we saying? Oh, second fish, bro. Second fish.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my dad was like, "Yo, let's put a plant in his fish bowl. It's good for them." And then I think that fool suffocated in the plant.
Well, maybe
You know,
he
I don't think
just
my parents. I don't think my parents ever did that. Like, oh, he's going to like a farm upstate. I think they were just real and just said like, yeah, he died, man. Like
he
he's
just flushed him down
dead.
the toilet.
I don't remember what we
Yeah,
did.
yeah. I don't
I
think my parents sugarcoated it too. I remember friend, my old friend back in elementary school. Um, they had like a fish graveyard outside their house. They like buried all their fish.
bro, we had this kitten and it was really sad when it died. Like we only had it for like two
Okay.
weeks.
Oh shoot.
But that yeah, no, it was like we found him at my dad's work, right?
Mhm.
And before that we had like never had a cat. Like my family was like pretty anti-cat.
Mhm.
And then my dad like randomly just brings this like kitten home. And it was like super cute. And then that fool like one day just got sick. Like he used to have like a lot of energy. Like he'd like climb out of like this box that we kept him in, or like if we held him, like he'd
Mhm.
always move. And sometimes he was like really cuddly. But then one day he got like really sick and just like wasn't really moving anything. And like the next day, like he died. And it was really sad, bro. Honestly, like
Yeah,
it was
that
really
is really
sad.
sad, dude.
Like we like in the 2 weeks that we had him, like we genuinely like really connected with this cat.
Mhm.
And that fool's in our backyard. And it was
I'm
weird. You wanna know what the weirdest part was?
what was it?
Um, so we named him Buster, right?
Mhm.
After like, cause it kind of. I'm not saying that's a bad name, but it kind of sounds like a an animal name, right? But we
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
named him after a baseball player, right? This baseball player, cause me and my family are huge Giants fans.
Mhm.
Buster Posey is one of my dad's favorite players, right? In the
Okay.
Giants right now. And bro, this fool, or not this fool, my sister's on the box when we buried him put Buster Posey, and it was kind of weird. Shout out Buster Posey, but we lucky
It,
got Buster Posey too buried in our backyard.
is Buster Posey 1 still alive? Or
Yeah, no, he's kind of the goat. He's kind of like the best catcher of all time.
all right, all right. Yeah, I don't really watch baseball that much.
It's okay. I can watch baseball. Like I watched obviously when the Giants won the World Series like all three times. I definitely enjoyed that. Those were good years to be Giants fans. Right now it's kind of hard. I watch a lot of football. Football, Bang Bang Niner Gang. Um,
Yeah. I don't watch that much sports at all. I watched the Super Bowl. I watched like only half of it this year, and I root for the Browns. So shout out the Browns, favorite
Shout out
football
the
team.
49ers, man.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Terrell Lloyd. Get me to
Oh yeah,
be
yeah.
the Get me to be your apprentice and take pictures of the 49er games. That would
Yeah,
honestly be really cool.
next year probably.
I think that'd be so dope.
Hmm.
Like being able to take pictures professionally, like for a sports team.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like
Like
honestly,
I honestly think that'd be like a dream job of mine. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
sounds like really fun though. You just travel with the sports team, just
Like
take
especially if
pictures.
I got to take pictures with like my team,
Hmm.
like that'd be like a win-win.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so what else? Oh, so have you been watching anything watching any shows recently?
Watching these shows. I've been watching a couple animes recently actually.
I don't want to sound like a, kid if I'm be real, but I don't really mess with anime like that, man. Like no disrespect to people who watch anime.
Hmm.
We love all kinds of people around here, but I don't know, I just never to me personally, anime is just not my style. I don't want to say anything bad about anime,
Yeah, yeah,
but and I'm sure like there's some genuine like storylines, but personally for me, I just never got interested in it. Like the only thing close to anime I ever watched was Avatar.
yeah. And Avatar is an anime because it's made in America. So
Yeah, but that
yeah.
was like my only one. Like I remember seeing Dragon Ball Z on Nickelodeon, and I was like, man, bro,
Okay, the thing is though, I was like that too when I was younger. My brother and I would always make fun of Dragon Ball Z because it had balls in the title. We thought it was so
No,
hilarious.
I just thought it looked weird, bro. Like even there were times in Avatar where I was like, bro. I think like a part of me also just doesn't like the style. Like I think I'd rather not that I don't like cartoons because I like a lot of
Hmm.
cartoons, but I don't know. I think I'd rather watch something with like real people or
Yeah.
like I don't know. Like I really like regular show. Regular show's like my probably favorite cartoon. One of my favorite cartoons all time. Or
Yeah.
I like Rick and Morty.
Yeah, when's the next season gonna come out of that?
I
It's been
don't
like
know.
a couple years already, hasn't it?
No, no, no. They just had season 4 like this last year.
Was it last year? I thought it was. Hold on.
Let me see. Let me look it up. It was really recent. Rick and Morty.
Oh, it started late 2019 and ended in mid 2020.
Yeah, they had
So
like
I
two
guess,
parts. They had like two parts for it,
yeah, yeah. So
which
I
was
guess it
kind of
was
weird, but
almost a
I don't
year.
know.
But
But I
still,
really
it
like that
feels like a long
show.
time.
Dude, I remember like 8th grade, you and me would always have like Rick and Morty talks.
Yeah, eighth grade. Honestly, it's probably eighth graders probably make a lot of Rick and Morty's audience. To be honest.
I know. I think that was like prime time.
Oh yeah,
But I think like season 4 is probably like one of my more like favorite seasons.
yeah,
Maybe it's just because I've seen like season 1 and 2 so many times.
yeah. I think season three was like the more story focused one, right?
Season 3, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that stuff's cool, but like, oh, classic Rick and Morty is can't beat it. Anyways, yeah. Also, for anyone that's curious, the animes that I've been watching are Demon Slayer and The Promised Neverland season two.
Yeah, we could get like Ethan on here one day and you guys could just anime talk it out, bro.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I'm
That
not
fool
like a
could
full-on weeb. I'm just like a casual enjoyer. All
that
right,
fool could talk about anime for hours, bro. Shout
really.
out Ethan. Shout out Ethan one more time.
Yeah, just gonna be shouting out Ethan the whole podcast. It's just we're just gonna rename it to Shouting Out Ethan the podcast.
Be the title, bro.
Exactly.
Episode 1, shout out Ethan.
We should just name it that, bro. Just, yeah, screw it.
Yesterday, I was pretty bored, and so I decided to watch WandaVision. Have you seen WandaVision yet?
Oh yeah, yeah, I watched that. I watched that as it came out actually, like every day, every Friday.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it as it came out, but I don't know. It was kind of like I'm gonna try and not spoil it for anyone, just so that they could keep watching.
Mhm.
But I feel like it was definitely kind of hard to watch, like at first.
Really?
The first episode, the first two episodes were so boring, in my opinion.
I don't think it
Like,
was boring.
and the thing is they just had these like little things in like the two episodes that kind of made you interested. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like the first episode for sure had me bored, bruh. I was so bored. Like okay, I recommend watching the show, right? It was interesting, but I will tell you right now, at least from my opinion, the first episode was boring.
Okay.
The second episode was also pretty boring, but it just had like a little bit more interest. And then the third episode is when it got kind of interesting. And then the
I
fourth episode was like the GOAT episode, greatest episode all time.
okay. I forget what the fourth episode is, but I know what you're talking about with the first and second episodes, and I kind of disagree with you actually, cause like
Really?
okay, I think it's just different. You just gotta like look at it from a different perspective instead of like expecting like this huge like Marvel action movie type of thing.
I wasn't expecting that, right?
Mhm.
And at first I thought the whole show wasn't gonna have a story. I thought it was just gonna be like this like 60s sitcom, and I was like, one,
Mhm.
how does that make sense? Two, why in the world would I want to watch this? And like, you know what I mean? Like, it
Mhm.
just didn't interest me. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
And
I
I
think
also
the
personally I also didn't really find it that funny. Like, I wasn't when I watch Marvel. Obviously, there's funny parts, right? But I don't watch it to like laugh. If I wanted to laugh, I'd watch like a comedy movie or like some stand up. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I think that's why you see it that way because like your expectations are different. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Like I think like the first two episodes I was like on my phone most of the time. Like I was paying attention, but I was
Uh-huh.
like, bro, this is boring. Like let me just like go on my phone for a little bit and maybe I might, I was like listening, but
Yeah.
I
I mean,
was really trying. I was really trying. I had to like force myself, and even my dad was there and he was like, dude, this show sucks, right? He's like,
yeah.
I'm not interested. And then like as he wasn't paying attention, but once it hit like the end of the third episode, beginning of the fourth, he's like, "Oh, it's getting interesting."
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
I know some people say to like skip like the first two episodes, but I'd say even if you like you don't
I
like
think you should. I
sitcoms
think
or
you should
anything, you should
still
still watch
watch
it.
them.
Yeah.
I think you should still watch them, but they're not necessarily like necessary.
I don't think they're entirely unnecessary either though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think just watch the whole thing. It if you don't like the first half, just wait. It gets better, I guess.
I'm gonna try not like spoil it right here, but I think the ending was also a little weird in my opinion. Cause I liked the way that they were going with the
Mhm.
story and like who they were like looking to make as like the bad guy in this
Mhm.
like, and I was really enjoying that, right? And I wanted this big like confrontation, right? But
Mhm.
I think instead like they got rid of like the whole conflict that they had in the entire movie, and they like threw it away and had this like unexpected villain. And I didn't really like that.
I'm I didn't think it was that bad.
That's like if that's like if in Infinity War, bro, you don't see Thanos the entire movie, and then he just comes out like, "Hey," and then like,
Well, I mean,
you
it's
know what I
kind of
mean?
hinted at though throughout the show. like subtly, but like
I
you could
didn't
still
no,
catch
I
on.
didn't see that. I did not see that at all. And I thought it was lame. Like it wasn't like it was like it wasn't it was a shock, but it wasn't a good shock. I was like, bruh, like what is she doing? Like why is she a bad guy?
Yeah, I think a lot of people were expecting it because I was watching like YouTube videos and stuff too, and like people that were like theorizing and stuff, and that was like the first thing they jumped on, like since like
No.
the second episode, I think, or the first episode. Forgot.
No, I wasn't expecting that. Maybe it's just because I watched it all in one day.
Maybe.
You know, I
But,
okay, actually I watched the first two episodes and like half of the third one on Friday,
mm-hmm.
and then I fell asleep. And, and
Uh,
then I watched the rest yesterday.
okay. Yeah. I feel like watching TV shows is like a lot different of an experience if you're like binging the whole thing, and if you're like watching it like episodically, like as it comes out.
It's hard for me to watch shows like that. I think the like even The Mandalorian, like
Mm-hmm.
I definitely tried watching like that show. Like okay, so I enjoyed the first season, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
watched the episodes as they came out. But then as the second season came out, I ended up just binging it. But I feel like there was something like holding me back from watching them. I think it's like the start of like a new season is always like kind of slow. I don't
Kinda.
know.
Because they can't just like go straight into like the big conflict in the first episode.
And I think The Mandalorian was like kind of slow in general. You know, like the beginning of the season is definitely, or like look at the beginning of the show, The Mandalorian. Like it's kind of slow.
I'm trying to remember. I think the Mandalorian started out really nice though.
Like the first
It was just
episode
like
starts out, and then the rest of the season, he's just like wandering, right? Like him and Baby Yoda are just chilling.
yeah.
Uh,
But I mean it was kind of like it gave me like that Western vibe, and I really like that.
True.
Yeah. I think that's what they were going for too.
They definitely were going for that,
Yeah.
which is cool, like a space western idea.
Mhm. But I feel like the second season definitely picked it up a lot more though.
Yeah, it did pick it up.
Yeah.
Have you did you ever watch those Marvel shows on Netflix?
Which one? Like Agents of Shield? Is that what you're talking about?
No, like did you ever watch Daredevil or like Marvel Jessica Jones, Luke Cage?
Actually haven't, no.
Dude, you need to watch those. Those shows are probably like one of the I'd say those are like the gold standard for superhero shows.
Yeah.
Like, cause you watch The Flash, right?
I watched a little bit of The Flash. I never really got into it.
No, I got into it in middle school, right?
Hmm.
Cause I remember my boy Brandon Godwong. Shout out Brandon.
Shout out
Um,
Brandon.
he started watching The Flash, and then he started talking all about it, right? And so
Hmm.
I was like, yo, I guess I'm gonna watch The Flash, cause I liked superheroes like that before. And the first season was really good, right? And I didn't realize it until like the fourth season that like every season was just like someone who's faster than Barry, and then Barry ends up being like, "Nah, fam, right? Like I'm faster than you, bro."
Hmm.
And then I stopped watching after season four. Like I think there's like seven seasons,
Dang.
and I even watched Arrow. Did you ever watch Arrow?
I watched the first episode of Arrow and then I never continued.
I watched three full seasons, I think, and I think I started watching half of season four ish.
Hmm.
I really like season two. I think season two in that show is like the best Arrow season. Like I haven't watched many of the other ones, but I could tell you right now, season two, because that one has what's his name, Deathstroke,
Oh, okay.
and that was really interesting, and it kind of goes into like their background kind of thing. That one was really cool. But then I think with those ones, they end up getting cheesy, and they have like almost like repeating villains, right?
Yeah, I feel like there's always a point when they're like trying to keep a show going where they just like run out of ideas.
And the thing is like you could tell with especially with those shows, like okay, obviously it takes a lot of work, right? And they need to make money, right? So I know why they
Hmm.
do it, but since it's on TV, they kind of milk it. They have like
Yeah.
20 or so episodes. So they really need to like stretch out, and you could tell when they're like done, like they don't know what to do anymore, you know what I mean? They're like,
Hmm.
"Hmm, let's make a crossover episode. Everyone's going to love this." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Also, I hate when people like recommend me TV shows and they're like, "Yo, trust me, it gets good in like the 12th season." And I'm just like, "Bro, I'm not gonna commit like a whole year of my life to watching a
my
show and it
sister will
doesn't
do
get good
that.
the whole
Like
time."
she started watching Vampire Diaries, right?
Hmm.
I think a lot of girls and even guys, I've never seen the show, but she like binge watched like a lot of that show, and I was like, "Yo, I don't know." Like, I think I tried doing that with some shows, and it's just too hard for me. Like, I eventually like lose interest, no matter how much like I care for the characters or whatever.
Yeah. And also, I know you don't watch anime, but there's this one anime, I don't watch it. It's called One Piece and it has like I don't know how many seasons, but it has like 960 episodes for the whole show.
Jeez,
I know, and I do not understand people that can watch that.
I bet you Ethan's seen that. Shout out Ethan.
Probably. I know Mitchell's like shout out Mitchell by the way. He's like more than halfway. I think he's like on like 600. That was like a couple weeks ago too, so it might be even further. But
Ethan's seen it all, man.
uh,
He's like a reviewer. If you need help with your anime, shout out Ethan, man.
yeah, now we have to have Ethan on the show.
We do have to have Ethan on the show.
Shout out Ethan part 2.
Hey, no, but for real, I definitely recommend um you or anyone who's listening to watch those Marvel shows on Netflix. My favorite one is probably Daredevil or The Punisher.
Hmm.
I think I think all three seasons of Daredevil are very fire. I think the third one's probably the best. I haven't finished Punisher season two, but season one was insanely good. And you know what I think is good? Since it's like not on TV, it's on Netflix. They could be pretty dark, so that it's
Hmm.
kind of gory and pretty violent too.
That's usually pretty interesting. You, I never watched the Punisher show, but I remember one time at a polo game, at a water polo game, like a couple of years ago. I forgot which year it was, but one of the refs recommended a comic book called Cosmic Ghost Rider, and like I remember I like the way he explained it. It sounded so interesting because basically the Punisher dies, all right, and then like he
Uh,
comes back to life as like Ghost Rider, and then he goes into space, and then I guess he works for like I don't know some big like galactic supervillain, and then eventually has to go back in time and kill baby Thanos. It's like the
huh.
craziest thing.
That
I
does
really want to
sound
like
really
find it,
crazy.
but like I haven't. I've been in like one comic store and I didn't find it, but I'm not like actively searching for it.
I know like
It sounds cool.
okay, I'd say I'm a pretty big like Marvel and like you know DC like fan, right? But
Hmm.
I've never gotten into comics, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't know where to start. Like I feel like I'd like to, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where to start with that, you know?
yeah. I think it's just like there's so many, and there's like so
Exactly.
many different arcs and like everything.
And what even is official nowadays, you know what I mean? Cuz
I
or
don't think there's like
like
any like straight canon for comic books.
cuz look at like Star Wars too. Like Star Wars there's like books on Star Wars. Um, Pretty sure there's comics on Star Wars,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and like, what even is official? You know what I mean?
I think some of the Star Wars comic books are canon though.
Yeah, I
I
think
think I
some of
think it's
them
just all the
are.
new ones, all the Disney ones. But yeah. Also, okay.
But
Speaking of Star Wars, what do you think of the sequels?
like the new three,
Yeah, yeah. 7, 8, 9.
I thought Force Awakens was good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of had high hope after that. Like even though like saying stuff like they kind of did the same thing, but after watching this last one, I don't know. Okay, it's hard because usually Disney doesn't miss, right? I'm a
Mm-hmm.
really big like Disney like anything fan, right? Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
make really good movies and theme parks. I absolutely love Disneyland. Grew up going to Disneyland all the time. I was lucky enough to go to Disneyland a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I think you know they're trying too hard with Star Wars, right? Like I don't think Star Wars should be funny. You know what I mean? Like they're cracking jokes all the time. It's just a different vibe.
Yeah. I think like it's okay to have like a little bit of humor, but I feel like in the sequels they did kind of go a little bit overboard.
You know what I think is primetime Star Wars
What?
was Revenge of the Sith.
Dude,
I think that is the best Star Wars movie.
yeah, me too, honestly.
I
Like,
like because throughout the whole movie, I feel like you just get this like feeling of like you're so like attached to Anakin, and you're
mhm.
just like, why would you do this? But I don't know, it's really tough. Like, because the old movies definitely have like a similar vibe to them.
Yeah.
You're attached to Luke, you're attached to all the characters,
Yeah.
and then what was it Empire Strikes Back? That one was the one that had like all the twists and stuff, like the
Yeah. Empire's
Darth
goated.
Vader. Dude, I feel like I low-key heard the "I Am Your Father" thing from Toy Story before I heard it from Star Wars. If I'm gonna be real.
No, I think I watched. Actually, I'm not sure because we had both of them when I was little. But yeah. Also, spoiler alert if you haven't watched Empire, Darth Vader's Luke's father. So
I know for real.
it's like a 40-year-old movie, but
All right,
uh,
I'm gonna actually. This is gonna be another spoiler for the last movie that just came out. It's
mhm.
pretty old, so it should be good to
Yeah,
spoil if you're not like a fan. I don't like that they brought back Palpatine.
yeah.
I
I think
really,
it's kind of like out of left field. It just didn't really
it
make
definitely
sense.
is. It was like some fan theory, like come true, and I
Yeah,
didn't
like some
like
fan
that.
fiction straight out of Wattpad. Yeah,
I
no.
didn't like it at all. He's like, I am Snoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also it's kind of weird because like another spoiler, like Rey's his daughter or like his granddaughter.
I think it
And
would have been good if they would have made Rey bad. If
yeah,
they like
me
would have
too.
swapped the roles and made Rey bad, Kylo Ren good, the movie would have been like it would have went from like a I want to say a 7 to like an 8.5. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's like no one would expect it. And also, why did they okay, another spoiler. Why did they kill Kylo Ren? He was literally the best character. He
I
carried
know,
the whole trilogy and then he
bro.
just
What was it?
died.
Okay, obviously another spoiler, right?
hmm We're just spoiling the whole movie
I
at this
didn't.
point.
I didn't. Okay, obviously everyone likes Chewbacca, right?
Yeah.
And when I thought that Rey killed Chewbacca, I was like, no. I was like, she did not just kill Chewbacca, bro.
hmm
And then when they brought Chewbacca back, oh my god, I was low key kind of pissed.
Yeah, honestly, it was kind of weird in was it Rise of Skywalker? No one actually died, like except for Kylo. Like everyone that like they showed like or they implied that they died, they just came back.
I think that's like I think movies and shows nowadays they just want like a happy ending. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like everyone wants this like fantasy happy ending, right? But it doesn't make for good storylines, right?
exactly.
Like I said, I think everyone can agree like Chewbacca is one of those characters that everyone loves. Like if you hate
Hmm.
Chewbacca, like what the hell's wrong with you? But I think as a storyline, Rey becoming bad would have been a good storyline, and Kylo Ren has to take her down, right?
Yeah,
Like I think that would have been a fire storyline.
yeah.
Or
I think the thing was is like there was like no consequences for anything.
exactly,
Everyone was
they're
just like all lovey-dovey.
like they're like, what? They killed Chewbacca. Then like 5 minutes later, you see Chewie and he's like, "What's up?"
Yeah, it just gives the impression that nothing like actually
And
matters and you shouldn't care
and the
about
fact
anything.
that they bring back Palpatine,
Hmm.
like that even shows like that kind of eliminates the ending in what's it called, Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It definitely like eliminates that ending, and it's like, oh, I guess Darth Vader died for nothing, lol.
exactly. Yeah.
Did you ever did you ever play The Last of Us 2, or did you ever like watch
No,
anyone
I've
play it?
I've never played any of those games. I've heard they're good though,
A
but
lot of people didn't like the second one,
mm,
but I'm not gonna spoil it for you if you ever want to play it.
okay.
But it had like a similar thing, right? Like there wasn't really any like consequence. I feel like everyone wants to like walk away from a game or a movie like with most of their characters like unscathed. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
everyone walks away, everyone has the happy ending. And it had a similar ending, like this person like goes and their mission is to like kill someone, right? And then when they finally have that chance, like they just pass it up and it's like, what was this all for?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and
It's similar but different.
I think that's why Infinity War is so good in my eyes. Cause
Yeah, I know, like you definitely don't expect like everyone to like die,
spoilers for
bro.
Infinity War, by the way.
I think everyone's seen Infinity
Yeah,
War.
yeah, you should
Like
have. If you haven't,
if you
just watch
care
it right
about
now.
Marvel, if you care about Marvel at all, you should know what happens in Infinity War.
Yeah,
We didn't spoil WandaVision because that's new,
yeah.
right? But
Infinity War's
Infinity
been out for
Wars,
a couple years now.
what, like 2 years at least? No, 3 years.
3?
3 years. Almost three.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, yeah, because it's 2021 now, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely wasn't expecting everyone to die in that movie.
Yeah, and it makes sense too because it's like no one wanted to sacrifice anything the whole movie except for Thanos. So he just won like
Gamora
that.
dying, bro. Oh my god, that was
Yeah,
sad.
that was sad.
Bro, Spider-Man, that one had me sad too.
Oh yeah, I think Spider-Man hit the hardest.
I know. Bro, in Endgame too, and Tony Stark, bro.
Oh yeah,
No, another
spoilers
spoiler,
for
bro.
Endgame too.
That one's been out for like 2 year, year and a
Yeah,
half.
something like that.
What was it? It's been out for a while.
Yeah,
Like I said, if you care about Marvel, you should have seen that movie already.
yeah. But do that, yeah. But I think it was a good ending because it didn't undo everything without like just
There
like
was still
completely crapping on Infinity
consequence.
War.
There was
Yeah,
still
exactly,
consequence. Like,
exactly.
Tony Stark, he obviously, like, he died. And that was really sad, but, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And
I mean,
then,
it makes sense though because like he was basically trying to kill himself like every single Avengers movie, basically. Like in Avengers 1.
I don't think he was trying to kill himself.
No, no, he was like ready to die though, like in the
I
first
think he
Avengers.
thought he, like, went into space and he was like, me, bro.
Yeah, and
And
then he just
then,
like
and then he,
lived.
and then he fell and Hulk saw, like, I got you.
Yeah.
And then Iron Man 3, he low-key wanted to kill himself.
Yeah.
Did you ever
I
watch
haven't
Iron
seen the
Man
movies in
3?
a while. I'm starting to rewatch like all the Marvel movies in order, but like
Dude,
I
it's
kind of
gonna
like
suck for whenever we have kids. Like, I feel like there's just gonna be like this month where I just gotta like watch every single Marvel movie with my kid.
yeah. Because there's like what already like 20 something. I think Endgame was
And
like the
I
21st,
they're not
and they're
gonna
still
stop
making
for a
them.
while. They're not
Yeah.
gonna stop for a while.
Hmm.
Did that Black Widow movie ever come out?
No, I think it was.
It looked like one of those movies where you low key had to like know what you were talking about in the comics to like think it was kind of funny.
Kind of not. I feel like not really.
Not really, because okay, like I said, Disney is usually pretty good at explaining,
Hmm.
but like people who like did watch like or did read the comics were
Hmm.
like, "Oh my God, like so and so, and he's all fat and and he's like, you know what I mean?" Like, because
Yeah.
they had Jim Halpert, not Jim Halpert, the guy from Stranger Things,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Jim Hopper, bro.
Jim Hopper. Yeah, yeah. But I feel like usually like Disney and Marvel, they have a good like balance of having stuff for like people that have no idea what they're watching and people that have like been studying the comics their whole lives. Like usually there's like little
Yeah,
nuances and you don't really need to understand it, but it does add to it if you do know about it.
Disney really pulled the twin sister prank in the fucking Black Widow movie. Like they saw it in the, you could see it in the trailer. They're all
Yeah.
like twin sister.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
I haven't seen the trailer in a while.
I haven't seen it in a while. I just remember a couple things, and
Yeah.
like I said, my boy Jim Hopper. He's like, I can't fit in my suit.
Yeah, it shouldn't it's supposed to come out later this year, right?
I don't know. It was supposed to come out like a year ago, but then Rona
Oh, it's supposed to come out May 7th.
is gonna be on Disney Plus or like only in theaters.
Um, Probably in theaters. If it was on Disney Plus, they do like the premieres thing where you have to pay money anyways.
They did that with Mulan. My grandma bought Mulan. I think my sisters watched it. I didn't watch it.
I heard that it wasn't that good anyways.
You know, I think people thought it. Okay, obviously I didn't watch it, but I think my sisters. I don't remember whether or not they liked it or they didn't, but I think they kind of complained that it wasn't like as much of like a musical, and they
Mm.
got rid of like the dragon, Mushu,
Oh
right?
yeah. Shout out
And
Mushu.
it was like more of like serious,
I think that's what they're trying to do. But I know
which I
it.
think is good. I think it has like a good storyline for that,
Mhm.
but
But I think there's like another like more political reason that people don't like it. And it's because of like the Chinese like internment camps. And they basically like endorse them in the credits. Not like directly, but they endorse like the company,
oh really?
whatever. Yeah, it was something like that. You can look it up if you want to look more into it, but I mean that it's pretty valid. Pretty valid.
I didn't know Disney was built like that, man.
I mean, they're a company. They like money, so
They do like money. They're low key selfish as with their Disneyland prices,
to
bro.
be fair though, who doesn't like money? So I don't blame them, but I do blame them because genocide bad.
Facts.
Facts.
Around these parts, we don't even like genocide. On God.
Exactly, bro.
Yo, I'm so hyped that things are opening back up. Like I could potentially go to Disneyland in like a couple weeks, I think.
Oh really? I didn't know it was
Yeah,
gonna happen that soon.
I think California, I saw somewhere that concerts, Disneyland, like Magic Mountain and stuff like that are all going to be opening up like April 1st or something.
That's pretty sick.
I don't know if that's true, but I'm pretty sure, and it has me excited.
Yeah, I think my mom said in like a couple of weeks we're supposed to be in red, and we've been in purple like this whole time.
I know we've been in purple for months, bro.
Yeah.
It's because of the vaccine,
Hmm.
and plus, like everyone and their mom has already had COVID, so
Yeah, and like immunity.
I haven't had it. I'm just
I,
built different like that.
I haven't had it. I just tested again this morning, but I tested negative
I think
less
it's
than a week
crazy because
ago,
like if
so
you would have told me a year ago that you had coronavirus, I probably would have freaked out.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like now, I feel like you having coronavirus is such like a common thing. Like obviously,
Yeah,
we
I've
I
known a
think
few
a
people
lot
that
of
have had it.
people. obviously like people have died, and I think my mom knows some people who have died from corona.
Hmm.
But shout out. I'm not gonna say, but I definitely know a couple people who've had it. It may
Hmm.
not have necessarily been their fault or whatever, but like I said, or I remember someone telling me like, if you haven't had it, like, what are you doing, man? Like, obviously it was kind of jokingly, but it just shows that like pretty much like it's not uncommon.
Yeah, and I think a majority of the cases too, it's like not really that serious, but I do understand that there's definitely is people that are susceptible, or at least
Yeah,
more susceptible
no,
than
there
others.
a lot of people. I don't want to say, but there are a lot of people who are more susceptible.
Big
You
word, I
know,
know.
it is kind of a big word.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of tongue twister. I guess that's a tongue twister too.
What was I saying? But like, it's selfish to think. But for a long time, like I thought, like this virus isn't gonna affect me. Why? Should I be in lockdown? Pretty much,
Hmm.
like it's a selfish way of thinking. I know, right? But I don't know. I was just trying to live life, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I'm a pretty big rule follower. So I wear my mask. I don't
of course.
hang out in like super huge groups, right?
Hmm.
But I was just trying to live life, you know. Coronavirus is just not wave.
Yeah.
I was just trying to
Honestly, I think there's definitely a point where like the risk of like getting the coronavirus is like it doesn't outweigh like just losing like your entire life
exactly like
basically.
okay, obviously like someone who's older, that doesn't necessarily like make sense because they're like go outside and go eat at a restaurant and possibly get
Hmm.
coronavirus and die, or just stay inside for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like obviously, if you have health conditions that might suffer from getting coronavirus, like you shouldn't. But I think for me, at least, for the longest time, I thought of it as like, why am I gonna waste so much of my life when this isn't gonna affect me?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And same thing
That
with businesses. Like I think a lot of businesses were hurt more than like some of the people who would have gotten the disease. You know what I mean?
hmm
Or virus.
yeah. And I feel like especially for like the little kids who are like trying to socialize, like they're like
I know,
learning.
dude. Everyone's gonna be like weird. Okay, I'm not saying weird, but everyone's gonna be like so introverted and
A
not
little
know
bit, yeah.
like social skills.
I think eventually it'll happen. There's
Eventually,
being
you
held
catch
back a little
on.
bit. Yeah,
People persevere, but
yeah.
it also sucks because I think like as you like go along in life, like school helps you age. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you definitely get like some sort of like maturity from going to school. Like people who like stopped, going to school like middle of their like fifth grade or whatever, sixth grade. How are they supposed to like transition to middle school when they're not in middle school? Or like
Yeah,
high schoolers. Like my sister's a freshman right now, but she's never like been at school like for like schoolwork. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And me and my family talk about this a lot, right? And I don't say this always to be mean, but it's like, how are you? It's hard to call yourself a high schooler if you've never like experienced high school.
Kind of.
You know what I
I
mean?
mean, my sister's in the same boat. She's also a freshman, but she still
Yeah,
talks to a lot of her friends. So I think she's still getting like kind of an experience. But also, I
yeah,
realize there's a lot of people that are like they're in online school and they don't talk to anyone because they don't have to, and they're just like they're introverted and they're like even more introverted because they're not forced to be with people.
yeah. No, definitely. I think that's like a boat for like a lot of people.
Mm.
And it sucks because I'd say I'm a pretty social person. Like I think before coronavirus hit, I used to talk to like a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I I had someone to talk to probably like in every single class I was in. Whether it didn't really matter whether like they're like some classes I had like someone who I considered like a best friend. Um, In other classes, I just have like people I talk to, but I always talk to someone, right? And I feel
Mm,
like now, like I only talk to like a handful of people. Like my bubble of people that I talk to, like just closed in.
mm.
And we had like a that drive-in movie that we had the other day.
Yeah, yeah.
It was really cool to be there because I mean I guess you weren't supposed to, but I definitely mingled with and saw like a lot of people that I hadn't seen in like a really long time, and it
Mm.
was just super cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was kind of surreal because it was like all these people that I'd see like every day I haven't seen in like a
And it's
year.
so weird because like before you just naturally talk to them or whatever, and now it's you're playing catch up.
Mm, yeah. So it looks like we're running down the clock a little bit. All right. Goodbye everyone. Tune in next week
Goodbye,
for the next episode of the Unpeeled podcast.
Unpeeled podcast.
Unpeeled. All right.
All right.